All right, let's just get right into it. Welcome to this explainer where we're jumping straight into the absolute high-stakes tech race of modern car design. I mean, if you've looked at cars lately, you know they're essentially supercomputers on wheels, right? And the competition to build the smartest, safest vehicle out there, it is absolutely fierce. Today, we're going to explore how artificial intelligence is completely transforming this industry from the inside out. But, and this is key, we aren't looking at some sci-fi scenario of robots taking over assembly lines. We're looking at something much more fascinating. We're looking at a fundamental shift in how humans actually work. This right here brilliantly illustrates exactly what's at stake. We're looking at the automotive giant Valeo, which is a major global partner for car manufacturers. In the traditional, older way of doing things, developing a new automotive product could take a staggering 3 years. 3 entire years of designing, testing, going back to the drawing board and redesigning. But by integrating AI into their workflow, they've slashed that development time down to just 7 months. 7 months! In an industry where getting your product to market first is literally everything, a time saving like that is absolutely game-changing.
So you might be wondering, how do they actually do it? Well, this massive leap in speed isn't about replacing humans with machines. Not at all. It's really about empowering them through a concept we call the augmented engineer. For those who might be new to this specific term, an augmented engineer is simply a human professional whose creativity, efficiency, and problem-solving abilities are totally supercharged by AI tools. Think of it kind of like giving an artist a magical paintbrush that handles all the tedious, boring mixing of colors so the artist can just focus entirely on painting the masterpiece. The true added value here is human elevation, definitely not human replacement. This dynamic is perfectly captured by Christophe Ligné, Valeo's Vice President of Research and Development. He says, "We use artificial intelligence as a real design aid, but always with an engineer at the controls." The absolutely crucial point here is that the AI proposes, but the human engineer always disposes. The AI is this highly capable assistant serving up options, but the human expertise, that gut instinct, the judgment, and the final decision-making, that remains firmly in the driver's seat. To really put this human element into perspective, just consider this number, 24,000. That is the massive army of research and development engineers that Valeo relies on to guide this whole technological acceleration. They are investing super heavily in innovation, dedicating 12% of their revenue to R&D, but they know for sure that to push the boundaries of what these smart tools can do, they actually need to push the expertise of their human engineers even further. At the end of the day, the technology is really only as good as the 24,000 brilliant minds steering it. Section 1. Simulating the open road. Imagine you're an engineer and you need to teach a car how to react to a pedestrian crossing the street. To do that, obviously, you need examples. You used to have to sit there and manually watch hundreds of hours of raw video recorded by car sensors, just waiting and hoping to spot a pedestrian. It would take a human days, if not weeks, of totally mind-numbing work. Now, the AI can scan that massive mountain of data and find exactly what the engineer needs in just 10 minutes. 10 minutes! That frees up the engineer to actually analyze the data rather than just hopelessly scrubbing through video files searching for it. But what about things that are really hard to catch on camera in the real world? This is where the augmented engineer uses generative AI to instantly simulate complex, totally unpredictable scenarios. Let's say they need to know how the car will react in a sudden blinding snowstorm, or if a deer unexpectedly jumps right into the road. Instead of waiting around for it to snow or trying to safely stage an animal crossing, which sounds impossible, the engineers simply ask the AI to create that virtual situation instantly. The AI generates the scenario, and the human uses it to teach the car how to react safely. It's basically rapid-fire problem-solving at its best. Section 2. Coding the future faster. Modern cars run on millions, literally millions of lines of code, and writing it all is a monumental task. To speed this up, engineers are using a tool called Gemini Code Assist, which essentially acts as a two-part helper. First off, it offers auto-completion. Think about when you're typing a text message on your phone and it guesses the next word for you. This does exactly that, but for incredibly complex software code. Secondly, it features a chatbot. If the AI suggests a string of code, the engineer can just ask the chatbot to explain the reasoning behind it. The AI provides a well-argued, sourced explanation. It's essentially like having a tireless co-pilot sitting next to you who not only helps you type way faster, but also explains the logic if you ever get stuck. Now, you might be thinking, sitting alone with an AI all day would isolate these workers, right? Actually, it's the exact opposite. As engineer Thibaut Boucher points out, it's really very stimulating. We discuss it together, we do tests, we show each other our discoveries. Because the AI is taking care of all that repetitive coding drudgery, these engineers have way more time and mental energy to collaborate, to experiment, and to actually share their breakthroughs with their human colleagues. The machine is, ironically enough, fostering way better human teamwork. All right, Section 3, Designing Greener and Lighter. So here is a huge hurdle in the electric vehicle world: battery thermal management. Electric vehicle batteries are incredibly sensitive. If they get too cold or too hot, they simply do not work well. To keep them at the exact perfect temperature, engineers use something called fluid cooling plates. You can kind of think of it like a highly advanced air conditioning system that flows liquid all around the battery to keep it perfectly comfortable. But designing the absolute optimal path for that fluid to flow, it's like a giant puzzle, and it's incredibly complex. Traditionally, an engineer would have to manually create and model dozens of different flow patterns just to find the best one, a process they rarely have the time to fully exhaust before hitting a deadline. But an augmented engineer, they just ask the generative AI to evaluate all those alternative flow solutions in a matter of minutes. The AI found a highly optimized design that resulted in a cooling pleat using 20% less aluminum than a standard design. So what does a 20% reduction in aluminum actually mean out in the real world? The benefits are absolutely huge. By augmenting the engineer's design process, the final physical product is instantly made lighter, which means the car can actually go further on a single charge. It makes the parts cheaper to produce, and crucially, using less raw material makes the whole manufacturing process much more sustainable and eco-friendly. It is a win across the board, all stemming directly from human know-how combined with that raw AI speed. Section 4. The road ahead. This entire process we've explored today points toward one ultimate vision for the vehicles of tomorrow. By freeing up these engineers from the tedious, time-consuming tasks and totally supercharging their problem-solving abilities, we ensure that the cars we drive will be incredibly safe, wonderfully green, and hyper-connected. We are putting human ingenuity front and center here, allowing these professionals to focus on the big picture of making our roads so much better. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this final thought. If AI makes the engineer augmented today, if it's already cutting development times by years and slashing raw material usage right now, what in the world will human creativity achieve tomorrow when these tools become even more seamlessly integrated into our daily workflows? We aren't just redesigning cars here, we are fundamentally redefining human potential. Thank you so much for exploring this fascinating topic with me today. Keep asking questions and keep looking toward the future.